Let's jump into activity 2, which is called feeding a crowd. The student task statement says a recipe says that 2 cups of dry rice will serve 6 people. Complete the table as you answer the questions. Be prepared to explain your reasoning. So A says, how many people will 10 cups of rice serve? So if we look at the table, we notice that whenever there's 2 cups of rice, you could serve 6 people. Whenever there's 3 cups of rice, you could serve 9 people. What I notice is that for every 2 cups, or not every 2 cups, but the column with the cups of rice is being multiplied by 3 to determine the amount of people it could feed. So what I want to do is I want to multiply 10 times 3. So 10 times 3 would be 30. So I will write down 30 people. So part B says, well, how many cups of rice are needed to serve 45 people? Well, I noticed that this is missing. So if this was being multiplied going 3 is being multiplied going this way, what would we have to do with that 3 going that way to figure out the amount of cups of rice? If you guess divide by 3, you are absolutely correct. We would have to divide 45 divided by 3. And 45 divided by 3 would be 15. So how many cups of rice are needed to serve 45 people? You would say 15 cups of rice. So now let's go to the second part of this question. It says a recipe says that 6 spring rolls will serve 3 people. Complete the table. Now, I know that you noticed that whenever you put the input with the number of spring rolls, it's the less amount of people. It may seem like it's being divided by 2, but it's actually being multiplied by 1/2. So it's being multiplied by 1/2 because the only relationship between the first column and the second column is a multiplicative relationship. So it's not a division relationship, it's a multiplicative relationship. But you keep in mind that multiplying by 1/2, so multiplying by 1/2 is the same as dividing by 2. So you can look at it as it's divided by 2, but it's actually being multiplied by 1/2. So I want to multiply 1/2 times each number in the first column. So when I do that, I should get 30 over 2, which is equal or equivalent to 15. 40 over 2, which is equivalent to 20. So now I noticed that this spot is missing as well. And we're going to use the same steps that we did in the last column when we had whole numbers. I want to divide 28 divided by 1/2. Now I'm going to apply the multiplicative inverse, which is also known as keep, change, flip, but we want to use the correct math terms. And the correct math terms would be the multiplicative inverse because dividing by 1/2 is the same as multiplying by 2 over 1. So I can place a 1 underneath that 28 and multiply going straight across, and I should get 54 over 1, which would be, in fact, or not 54 over 1, I apologize, probably 56. So you'll get 56 over 1. So it'll be 56 spring rolls.